This kind of thing has been going on all along in terms of promotion of the fight, and this time it seems to be for real, because Joe Frazier is really angry. Muhammad called him ignorant, and he's really angry.
For the first minute, I can see a good hook and a right cross. Yeah. It's all over. The fight might not go 2 minutes.
Wherever I go, all I hear is Larry Holmes. Made me sick. Holmes, wherever I go. You gonna fight Holmes? You gonna fight Holmes? What about Holmes? What about Holmes? When you gonna meet Holmes? Are you ducking Holmes? I got tired of Holmes stuff. So I said, get me Holmes. Holmes.
As if Ali didn't have enough of a legacy, he also made trash talking an art form.
He brought out what was really a guy who was woofing while he was winning. You play a certain card and you talk to the guy you're playing with. And that didn't bother me at all. And the word in the neighborhood, of course, is if you're going to talk like that, then you better back it up, which is actually what he did.
And the whole world will have to bear witness that Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time.
And he's still probably the greatest show on earth because he can still do magic, tell jokes. Still a fine guy. Nobody can attract attention like he does, even at this point. The guy's a wonder.
He still exists. The mind is sharp. He's glib. He loves to entertain. His tricks, with that phony thumb and everything, a levitation trick. What the hell? He's magnificent. Forget about it.
Who's that talking that trash? You're the greatest, man. The greatest of all time.
Legends don't get old, right, Ali?
Tough trash.
That's right. You got our heart on fire.
You ain't dumb as you
Only other
look.
people scared to say it, but I ain't scared.
You ain't dumb as you look.
Somebody said that Tyson would beat you in your prime.
Nigga, please.
Man, I told him they was crazy. You gotta beat that woman first. So we ain't worried about Mike.
I had a customer came in here. He said Mike Tyson would beat Ali. He would beat Ali's body up bad.
What?
Okay, that's what he said, Champ.
Yo, Tyson,
I was about to fight him right here. You know, I mean, I was about to do him.
You call me a nigga?
No.
She said you're bigger.
More than 30 years have come and gone, and one thing about Ali remains the same. He never met a camera he didn't like, and no camera ever hit him back.
How much this cost me?
Because of the miracle of television, everybody knew who he was, and in a world where the white population is obviously something of a minority, the political importance of what he did gained increasingly as he left the boundaries of his own country. He was politically very potent overseas in what is predominantly a non-white world.
You're never surprised to see him go anywhere and try to do anything if it'll help others.
Muhammad Ali is the goodwill ambassador to the world. In 1980, Ali, the American, was recruited by Jimmy Carter to help gather support for the Olympic boycott. In 1993, Ali, the Muslim, shuttled between Iran and Iraq in hopes of negotiating the release of 25,000 prisoners of war. In 1990, Ali, the American Muslim, helped negotiate the release of 15 American hostages held in Iraq.
I'm not going to let Hajj Muhammad Ali go back to the United States without having a number of the American citizens here accompanying him.
Wherever Ali goes, there are always people, even world leaders, accompanying him. Ali is clearly focused in the crosshairs of attention, whether it's the biggest cities or the deepest crevices on the globe.
And so we got out the car, you know, and the little old lady in the rice field looked up. You know, it's funny, you know, all over the world. Ali, I think, is the most recognizable face on earth.
As if Ali's world travels needed any further documentation, in the past year alone, his visits have included China, Turkey, Great Britain, and for the first time, Muhammad Ali ventured to South Africa, where the crowds were warm, loud, and large. October 1970. Ali returns to the ring after a 3.5-year layoff. After a couple of tune-ups, Ali Frazier 1 is signed. It would be perhaps the most eagerly anticipated sporting event of the century. The first time in heavyweight history that two undefeated champions would fight for one title.
Ali had that fight won through 10 rounds. And Frazier connected with a left, and I knew that he had really connected. But then finally, another left, and it was over. And I felt deeply for Ali.
Instead of being deflated by the loss to Frazier, Ali was energized. Over the next 3.5 years, he fought 14 times, an astonishing 171 rounds. He suffered a broken jaw and his second professional setback against Ken Norton. But after winning a rematch from Norton and Frazier, Ali was in line for a title shot with the young, ferocious, and undefeated George Foreman, who had knocked out his 8 previous opponents in 2 rounds or less. The site, Kinshasa, Zaire.
And I predicted after 8 good rounds, it'll be obvious that he's dead tired. He won't have no more after 8.
The only time I was ever absolutely convinced he was going to lose was to George Foreman in Zaire.
It was so brilliant the way he did it, because believe me, when he came back to the corner, everybody screamed at him, "Get off the ropes!" And he just quietly said, "Shut up, I know what I'm doing."
But here Ali is, and I mean, I turned my head, I said, oh man, don't do that. Because I didn't want to see him lose.
Punches on the arm weren't hurting, punches on the glove weren't hurting. He wasn't getting hit. George thought he was killing him, but George was getting tired.
He ended up hurting this man whom no one thought could be hurt, beating this man, knocking out this man who at that time looked as unbeatable as Sonny Liston had looked.
And then that fight in Manila, I think, is the most terrible fight that's ever been held. I think in many ways it ruined both of them.
It was almost life and death. The fact that you had the feeling that you're a whisper away from death. Every new round there was another knot, another cut, another lip coming out. I mean, Joe just looked like a mess. And after the 14th round, I just thought, we're in danger of killing him. If they don't stop this thing, I don't know what they're thinking about.
Muhammad imposed his will on Joe because it looked for a time like either guy was going to fall. But then Muhammad had that little extra, that's something special. That's what makes a champion.
He is tough. He's a great fighter. When you see him in the eye, it's always to be a fight. That's a promise.